Nobody likes to talk about it. End of life is a touchy subject that people tend to ignore, but there will inevitably come a point in everyone's life when it's time to find a solution, a smooth transition into, well, death. The question is, what resources are available and how accessible are they to the population?
Hospice is actually a level of care that is provided for patients who have life-limiting illnesses. The most common way of a patient coming on service is by physician referral.
In today's economy, every industry is experiencing budget cuts, and hospice care is not an exception. It's important to understand, though, that anyone who qualifies for hospice care cannot be denied the service.
I think there are some big changes that need to happen, really big changes, but they need to happen on the federal level. There are many terms out there in the world of hospice. You hear the words concurrent care, you hear palliative care, which would be sort of this year to the end with whatever services that the patient would wish to have.
Just because a patient doesn't have coverage of any sort doesn't mean that they're excluded from hospice services. All hospices take patients regardless of their eligibility to pay for the services. Most hospices have the ability to look at providing charity care through their programs.
It should not affect the care. I mean, right now we're going through the era of healthcare reform. You hear about Obamacare. And you also hear about the escalating costs of healthcare. What this era of healthcare reform is asking us to do is to be more effective and more efficient in which we deliver the care.
Margarita Reynoso's mother suffers from Alzheimer's. Many of her concerns have been eased because of hospice.
To me, I've been seeing a lot of difference with my mom. She doesn't have to go to the doctor office and wait for hours and hours over there to see a doctor. And the way she's feeling, she's not, you know, it's not very good for her to be waiting at the office for a long time. And I do like the service.
Patients are too sick to have great expectations. They want the same things. They want to be cared for and loved and comforted and pain-free and symptom-free if it's possible.
Oh, it did affect us a lot. We thought that was going to be the end. Yeah.
Hospice care is only one of the many services available. Palliative care is also an option.
The goal here is not to prolong life, but to make it a graceful transition to life's end. For OC Insight, I'm Lena Narena.